Imagine this. A temporary employee logs into your Power App and accidentally sees private salary data from your HR. Scary? Absolutely, but 100% preventable if your Power Apps are set up with a proper security. And in this video, I'll walk you through exactly how to secure your Power Apps using environment rules, data permission, and field level security. So let's dive in and lock things down the right way. Everything starts at the environmental level. This controls who can even access or build an application in a given environment. First thing we need to do is head over to the admin center. And once in the admin center, we need to go to manage and environments. And then you can select the environment that you want to create the security for. Once in the environment, we're going to head over to the settings. Then we're going to search for user and permission. And first we're going to click for users. And once you click on a user, you get the option to manage the security rules. And as you can see, currently there's only assigned basic user. And this is a list of all of the predefined security rules that Microsoft has created. By knowing what each security rule does, you can read the documentation. Or when we're later going to advanced settings, you can also see how you can check what each security rule is giving permission to. The basic user one is a simple one that's just giving access to a application. If you want people to be able to create applications inside of your environment, you need to give them either the system administrator security rule or the system customizer. And by these rules, they will be able to change tables and create applications. It is advised to remain the system administrator rule to dedicated admins of the complete Microsoft environment and just apply system customizer to application builders or other developers in the Power Apps environment. Okay, so we've given someone privilege to build an application in our environment and it's finished. So next up, we need to configure who is able to access the application itself, to use it. And that's what we configure through app sharing. So we're going to go to an application that is built. And as you can see here, we have the YouTube example application that is built for us. And we're going to head over to share. And right here, you can see a list of all of the users that it's currently being shared with. And as you can see, it also shows the rules through which it is shared. So if, for example, we want to add a new user and share it to them, we can select them based on which security rule it will be able to access the application. To define these security rules, we're going to head in over later in this video. But here you can share the actual app that is built to actual users so they can start using it in your environment. Also, if you're lazy, like for example me, you can also share it to a group so that you don't have to add every user manually, but just add an entire group and say this group will be able to use this application. Now we move over to data access. Just because someone can open an application doesn't mean that they should see everything in your application itself. So we'll create a custom security rule to give users read-only access to a specific table inside of the application so that it can only see what it really needs to see. So these security rules are basically the same like system customizer or system administrator, but this one is specifically designed for the users that are going to use our application. To do so, we're going to head over to the advanced settings by clicking on the gear and hit advanced settings. Once in advanced settings, we're going to head over to security and then click on security rules. And here you can also see all of the security rules that are standard inside of a Power Platform environment. And if you're lazy and you're thinking, well, this security rule already suits my needs in a very big portion, you can just select this security rule and change what you want to change. But for this example, we're just going to create a new rule and we're going to call the rule example YouTube. Here you can select the organization and here you can select include app opener privileges so that it will be able to open the application that it's assigned to, and we're going to hit save. And when that's all said and done, you see a very big list of all of the tables that are inside of the environment, and you can select all of the specific privileges for these specific tables. So for example, if you have a HR application that is managing the contacts, the employees inside of your organization, and you want this security role to be able to read the contact entities and the records that are in it, you will need to give them the read privilege. But if you, for example, have another security rule of somebody that also needs to make changes to the records inside of the contact entity, you need to give them the write privilege. And if you have a security rule of a user that also needs to create records, for example, if there's a new contact inside of your organization, this person needs to create records in it, you need to give them the create privilege. And by this, you can really manage which security role is able to make specific actions on a table inside of your application. So if we will make a security role with these privileges and we assign this to a user, then this user can open the application and see the contacts, and it will be able to change, create, or see them, but it will not be able to delete these records. And by this way, you can really manage your data in a proper way. So for now, we're going to leave this example as it is, and we're going to hit save and close. And as you can see, now our example security role, and as you can see, I've made one previously for the events, but this is the one that we've just created, and it's available in our list of security rules. We can make adjustments anytime that we need to make adjustments, and we can now also assign the security rule to users inside of our environment. Hey guys, I just launched my brand new interactive PowerApps e-learning course, Build Your First Model-Driven App, made for beginners. And because I believe in learning should be accessible, it's priced at just $39. Plus, I've got a special $10 discount just for my YouTube audience. Use one of these codes during checkout and you will be rewarded an additional $10 discount.
We're the power ninjas on the rise, building dreams beneath the skies. Bracky's got the moves so slick, with power apps we make it click. Power ninjas here to save the day. Bracky leads the way, apps that make your problems fade. Innovation tailor-made. Drag and drop, we shape your world. Every line of code unfurled. From dashboards bright to workflows clean. Power apps create the scene.
So now we have created a security role which allows us to specify which user can perform which action on which entity. But what if you want users to only see records assigned to them? That's where record level security comes in. It's super useful for apps like help desks, sales trackers, or ticket systems where you don't want to have users see other people's records. And to do this, we're going to go back to our custom security role and open it. And we're going to search for the contact entity again. And instead of organization, we're going to select user. And this will let them only access the records owned by users or objects shared with the user or their team. So when we change this to the user, it will only be able to see the records that are assigned to this user. And then we're going to hit save and close again. So now let's talk about field security. Because sometimes even within the same record, you want to hide sensitive fields, like salary or internal notes. And to do so, we're going to go back to the Power Platform and we're going to select tables and we're going to search for the contact entity. Once we're in the contact entity, we're going to select columns and we're going to search for a specific column that we want to secure. So if we want, for example, add some extra security on the annual income, we're just going to click this column, go to advanced options and enable the column security. And then we're going to hit save. So once we have done that, we're going to go back to the advanced settings. You can do this by going to the gear and select advanced settings. And once we're in the advanced settings, we want to look for security. But instead of going to the security roles, we're going to the field security profiles. And in here, we can create a new profile. I'm going to name this example YouTube and we're going to hit save. And once we hit save, we will be able to specify which team or users this security profile needs to be applied on. And we also have the opportunity to click on field permission. And in here, there is a section that shows all of the columns that extra field level security is enabled for. And here we can see the one that we've just enabled this for, and this is the annual income. So just like with the security roles, where you can apply, read, update, or create privilege based on a specific table, here we can do the same, but on a field level. So we will be able to create a profile which is only able to read or update a specific field, or we can create a profile that is not able to see the field at all. So by this, we can really specify which fields a specific user can or can't see. So for example, a HR manager will be able to see the salary, but a user that is just doing administrative work is not able to see the salary information. So this way we can really secure our application in a way that is really suiting our business needs. So before we wrap up, I've got some final essential tips that you can use. Always test the security roles with a non-admin user. Just never assume that security roles are working just because it looks good. Always create a test user and test it out because you don't want people to see sensitive data that they don't need to see. Another tip is to use security groups so that when a new user is accessing the environment, you just can assign them to a specific group. So you don't need to really specify every specific term on a user that is newly created. This will make managing more easy and also more quickly. If you found this video helpful, please give a thumbs up and subscribe for more Power Platform content. And leave a comment below. I hope to see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching.